In the heart of Jerusalem's ancient limestone caverns, where shadows dance on weathered walls that have witnessed millennia of history, an extraordinary discovery is about to shake the foundations of our understanding of prophecy in modern times. The year is 2025, and what began as a routine archaeological survey has transformed into something far more profound, something that bridges the ancient world with our digital age in ways that defy explanation. Dr. Sarah Chen never expected to find herself at the center of a discovery that would connect biblical prophecies to the headlines dominating today's news feeds. The scroll lay before her, its weathered parchment telling a story that transcends time itself. As she carefully unrolled the delicate manuscript, her trained eyes noticed something unusual. This wasn't just another Dead Sea Scroll. The text contained information that seemed impossible for its age, describing with haunting precision the very world we live in today. The laboratory at the Hebrew University of Jerusalem buzzed with activity as experts from various fields gathered to examine the remarkable find. Carbon dating confirmed what seemed implausible. The scroll was indeed ancient, dating back to the 1st century. Yet its contents spoke of things that its writers couldn't possibly have known. The text described a world where currency exists without physical form, where machines think like humans, and where humanity is connected through an invisible web that spans the globe. As Dr. Chen collaborated with biblical scholars and modern technology experts, the parallels became increasingly difficult to ignore. The scroll's predictions aligned with current events in ways that sent shivers through the academic community. It spoke of a time when nations would be linked through digital systems, describing what we now know as blockchain technology and cryptocurrency. The ancient text painted a picture of a world where traditional money would give way to a new system, one that would require every person to participate in a global economic network. More unsettling were the scroll's descriptions of artificial intelligence. In metaphorical language that eerily matched our present reality, it described minds of metal and light that would one day rival human intelligence. The text spoke of these artificial minds becoming intertwined with daily life, making decisions that would affect millions. Today's headlines about AI integration in healthcare, finance and governance seem to leap straight from the scroll's ancient pages. The team's cryptographers and linguistic experts worked tirelessly to decipher the document's more complex passages. They discovered references to what appeared to be a global identification system, one that would merge physical and digital identity. The scroll warned of a time when this system would become mandatory for all commercial transactions, drawing immediate parallels to current discussions about digital ID initiatives and cryptocurrency regulations. As news of the discovery spread, religious scholars began pointing out connections to traditional interpretations of biblical end times prophecies. The Book of Revelation's description of the mark of the beast suddenly seemed less allegorical and more literal in light of modern digital identity systems. The scroll appeared to bridge the gap between ancient warnings and contemporary technological developments, suggesting that the prophets of old had glimpsed our digital age through some divine window. The implications grew more profound as researchers uncovered predictions about global alliances that perfectly matched current geopolitical shifts. The scroll described a world where traditional power structures would be upended, where new coalitions would form among nations that historically stood apart. In 2025, as the world witnessed unprecedented diplomatic realignments and economic partnerships, the ancient text's accuracy became impossible to dismiss. Dr. Chen's team discovered passages describing environmental changes that mirrored current climate challenges. The document spoke of seasons becoming unpredictable, of seas rising, and of ancient diseases emerging from melting ice, events that were making headlines with increasing frequency. The scroll's authors had somehow foreseen the environmental crisis that would face humanity in the 21st century. Perhaps most intriguing were the scroll's predictions about social changes. It described a time when traditional values would be challenged, when society would become increasingly divided, and when truth itself would become a matter of debate. The parallel to our current era of fake news and competing narratives was unmistakable. The ancient texts seem to have anticipated the social media age and its impact on human discourse. As researchers delved deeper into the manuscript, they found references to specific technological developments that seemed impossible for ancient writers to have known. The scroll described devices that would allow instant communication across vast distances, machines that could see inside the human body, and vehicles that would travel beyond Earth's atmosphere. Each prediction aligned with innovations that had either recently emerged or were on the verge of breakthrough. The document's accuracy regarding current events led to intense speculation about its remaining unfulfilled prophecies. Of particular interest was a series of predictions about events that seemed to be unfolding in real time. The scroll spoke of a great economic transformation that would begin in the East and spread westward, precisely matching the current shift in global financial power. It detailed the rise of digital currency systems that would eventually replace traditional banking, a process that was actively occurring. Security experts noted with concern the scroll's warnings about vulnerable digital systems and the potential for widespread disruption. The ancient text describes scenarios that paralleled modern cybersecurity threats, including the potential for critical infrastructure failures and the manipulation of essential services. These passages gained new significance as reports of sophisticated cyber attacks increased globally. The scroll's descriptions of social control mechanisms through technology drew particular attention. It warned of a time when personal privacy would become obsolete, when every transaction and movement could be monitored and recorded. The parallel to current debates about surveillance technology and digital privacy rights was striking. The manuscript seemed to caution against the voluntary surrender of personal freedoms in exchange for convenience and security. As the research team worked to translate the final sections of the scroll, they encountered a passage that made them question everything they thought they knew about prophecy and time itself. The text contained a specific prediction, complete with what appeared to be a date corresponding to exactly 1 month from the present day. The nature of this prophecy was both precise and alarming, describing events that would fundamentally alter human society. The discovery sparked intense debate within academic circles. Some scholars argued that the scroll's accuracy regarding current events couldn't be dismissed as coincidence, while others searched for rational explanations for its predictive power. The scientific community struggled to reconcile the manuscript's age with its seemingly impossible knowledge of future events. Religious leaders from various faiths began to weigh in on the significance of the discovery. Many saw it as confirmation of their theological interpretations, while others warned against rushed judgments. The scroll's existence challenged both secular and religious worldviews, suggesting a connection between ancient wisdom and modern reality that defied simple explanation. As the date of the final prophecy approached, global attention focused on Jerusalem. News organizations maintained constant coverage of the research facility where Dr. Chen and her team worked to understand the scroll's last prediction. Social media buzzed with theories and speculation, while financial markets showed increasing volatility in response to the uncertainty. The scroll's influence extended beyond academic and religious circles, affecting policy decisions and strategic planning at the highest levels of government. World leaders sought briefings on the document's contents, particularly regarding its predictions about economic systems and global security. The possibility that ancient prophets had accurately forecasted our present reality forced a re-evaluation of long-held assumptions about history, time, and human knowledge. The manuscript's warnings about technological dependence and social control mechanisms sparked a global conversation about the direction of human civilization. People began to question the rapid adoption of digital systems and the increasing integration of AI into daily life. The scroll's predictions served as a wake-up call, prompting discussions about maintaining human autonomy in an increasingly automated world. As researchers worked around the clock to understand the final prophecy, they noticed something extraordinary about the scroll's structure. The predictions weren't simply listed chronologically, they formed an intricate pattern that suggested a deeper understanding of historical cycles and human development. The ancient authors appeared to have grasped something fundamental about the nature of time and human progress that modern science was only beginning to comprehend. The tension mounted as the prophesied date drew closer. The world held its breath, waiting to see if the scroll's final prediction would prove as accurate as its others. Dr. Chen and her team worked tirelessly to ensure they had interpreted the ancient text correctly, aware that the eyes of the world were upon them. The manuscript's previous accuracy made it impossible to dismiss this last prophecy, regardless of how improbable it might seem. As the final days approached, the scroll's message seemed clearer than ever. Humanity stood at a crucial crossroads. The ancient text had not just predicted our technological advancement, it had warned of the choices we would face as a species. The integration of digital systems, artificial intelligence, and human society had brought us to a point of no return, a moment of decision that would determine the future course of human civilization. Whether or not the scroll's final prophecy would come to pass, its impact on human understanding was already irreversible. The document had bridged the gap between ancient wisdom and modern knowledge, forcing us to reconsider our place in the grand sweep of history. As the world waited to witness the fulfillment of the final prediction, one thing became certain. The discovery in that Jerusalem cave had forever changed our understanding of prophecy, time, and the connection between past and present.